Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into a review of a tool called Plerdy. Now this one's promising to solve a huge headache for basically anyone in digital marketing, and it does that by mashing two critical tool sets into one. Okay, let's just kick things off with a hard truth that, well, it probably hits a little too close to home for a lot of us. The source article puts it perfectly. Reoccurring software costs are a slow, silent killer of profit margins. I mean, it's that monthly drain, right? You barely even notice it until you really notice it. I mean, does this sound familiar? You're paying for one tool to figure out what your users are doing on your site, your CRO stuff, and then you've got another subscription for your SEO. And sure, on their own they seem manageable, but man, do those costs stack up fast. All right, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to look at that recurring cost problem, see what Plerdy's all-in-one solution is about, check out its features, walk through a real-world test, and then we'll get into the economics and the final verdict. Let's do it. Okay, first up, the reoccurring cost problem. Let's really dig into the pain point that a tool like Plerdy is trying to solve. So this is the core issue, right? It's this endless cycle of paying for a whole bunch of different specialized tools. You might have Hotjar for watching user behavior, and then maybe another service for your SEO audits. Each one's got its own monthly bill, and that is what just quietly eats away at your budget month after month. So that's the problem. Let's look at the proposed solution, Plerdy's all-in-one approach, and how it aims to break that cycle. The whole idea here is pretty simple: consolidation. Plerdy's big promise is that it takes two of those really expensive software categories, user behavior analytics and technical SEO, and it merges them into a single platform. The goal? To kill the need for all those separate subscriptions. All right, so what's actually in the box? Let's take a look at the core features and what they do. So the whole platform is basically built on 4 pillars. You've got your click heat maps and session replays. That's pretty standard stuff for CRO tools. But then you also get conversion funnel analysis, and here's the kicker, that built-in SEO checker. And yeah, the CRO tools are apparently really solid and super detailed. But according to the review we're looking at, there's one thing in particular that really separates Plerdy from the competition, from tools like Hotjar. And it's this, the built-in SEO checker. This is really the heart of that whole all-in-one promise. It's not just some little add-on, it's a full-blown technical audit tool. It runs every single day, and it checks for all those on-page things like meta tags and page speed that, you'd normally have to pay for in a completely separate tool. Okay, so theory is one thing, but how does this actually work in the real world? Well, the source material ran a test case to find out. And the test they ran followed this really slick process. Step 1, identify a super common problem: high cart abandonment from social media traffic. Step 2, use Plerdy's tools to zero in on the exact cause. So they filtered the heat map just for mobile social traffic. And that led to Step 3, the big discovery: a massive design flaw. And boom, here's what they found. The scroll map showed that only 35% of mobile users coming from social media ever even saw the Add to Cart button. It was just completely buried below the fold for most of them. No wonder they weren't buying. And this is the really crucial part. Plerdy's data didn't just flag a problem, it basically handed them the solution on a silver platter. The task was immediately obvious: move the Add to Cart button up. It's a perfect example of data not just being data, but being an immediate, actionable task. Which brings us to the money, the economics of it all. This is where the value proposition gets, well, pretty hard to ignore. I mean, just look at this. The comparison is, wow. You've got a one-time cost of $69 for the Plerdy lifetime deal, and on the other side, nearly $600 for just the first year of a similar plan from a big competitor. That's a huge difference. And when you break it down like this, the savings just get crazier over time. After year 1, you're already ahead by over $500. By year 3, you're looking at a savings of over $1,700. And remember, that doesn't even count the money you're saving by not paying for a separate SEO tool, because the other guy doesn't even include one. So yeah, over $1,695 in savings after just 3 years. This really changes how you look at it, doesn't it? It stops being a software expense and starts being a way to just permanently delete a big recurring cost from your budget. All right, so let's wrap this all up. Let's pull everything together and see what the final verdict from the review really is. Well, the source is pretty clear about who this is best for. Marketing agencies and freelancers, for sure. E-commerce managers who are watching their budgets. And really, any small or mid-sized business owner who needs these powerful tools without that killer monthly subscription. But look, no tool is perfect, right? So let's be balanced. The massive pros, that SEO checker is a game changer. And obviously, getting rid of that recurring cost is huge. The cons? Well, there's a bit of a learning curve to get started. And depending on the deal you get, there might be limits on how long data is kept or how many video sessions you can record. So, what's the bottom line? The review doesn't pull any punches. It calls Plerdy a must-buy and frames this lifetime deal as more than just a discount. It's a permanent financial advantage. That's a pretty strong statement. And that really just leaves us with the final question from the source, and it's one for you to think about.